2 hours later.
Things don't always go according to plan. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of me struggling in that video, and that was honestly just me being foolish. When I originally made this mold, I was thinking I could really get away with the matrix being 2 pieces, with just the main shell on top, and then underneath, 1 shell, 1 piece. And that didn't really work out. I wasn't able to open it all at once, and I had to end up cutting it in a couple of places and trying to make it work. So what I ended up doing was I took my saw and I cut a seam all the way down, and I basically took this and kind of clamshelled it open for it to come off. Then I trimmed all the way around the sides to where you can actually see some of the rubber peeking out of the edges. Then I was able to actually take the rubber off of it, take the master out, take the bottom off, and then I was left with the 2 shells. After I did that, I put everything together without the master inside, and I had to put more fiberglass over the front in order to kind of glue it all back together. And now I tried casting my first one, and you get to hang out with me and kind of see if it worked. So let's give this a try. Attempt number 2. Attempt number 3. So let's talk about it real quick. When I originally made the mold, I thought it was going to be a good idea to just make everything closed. And after that, I would basically take it, open it up in 2 halves, and then lay in fiberglass Bondo mixed with resin over here, and then just kind of overlap and smush the 2 sides together, right? So that is what this attempt was, right? And it looks pretty good now, but if you can see, there are some areas that didn't come out in the initial casting. Maybe that was my fault for going too quickly, not sure, but I had to backfill some of that stuff with more Bondo and then smooth it out and get it ready for painting. While it is very, very strong, I don't think that this is feasible to keep making it this way, okay? Then I decided to do something a little bit drastic where I took the mold and I drilled a hole in it, right? And I know what you're thinking, like, wow, that's pretty crazy that you would decide to do that in something that you spent 2 weeks making. I know. But I decided that I would drill a hole in it and then poke a hole into the mold itself, into the silicone, and then I would use syringes to kind of inject polyurethane resin and kind of slush it around the way that I would a helmet, and just go back and forth and do that. My first attempt, it didn't work out so well. There's a lot of voids, a lot of thin spots, and that just didn't work out. And this is my second attempt. And my second attempt worked out much better. What I ended up doing was kind of brushing in on the mold areas here, here, and over here, and then filling in this area, which will eventually be the mounting point for the crown itself on the helmet. Then what I ended up doing was I closed the mold, flipped the whole thing over, and then with a large syringe, one of these things, I would end up taking this, sticking it through here, imagining that the other side of the mold is actually on, and then injecting it into the void, and then kind of slushing it around. This worked out kind of well until I needed to get the second coat in there, and what ended up happening was that this hole here would kind of fill in. So what I figured out, when you mix up resin, these big syringes can actually pull it up too. It's not too thick, you can actually get it. So I ended up pulling it up and then injecting it, and it ended up working out much, much better than trying to feed it in with gravity. So I think from this point on, what I will be doing is I'm going to be making them this way. And then the only thing that I do have to repair is the little hole where I normally would inject all of my plastic into. I fill that up with a little bit of epoxy sculpt. I let that dry. And then after that dries, I can sand it flush and it's good to go. All right. So this is officially the third part of the mold. It's finished, and get ready to see the helmet be painted and assembled. Okay? Stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much.